Hi, how are you? Welcome to my channel. I'm Anna G, your fellow crafter. Today we're going to be working on our fun February makes for week 3. We're going to be making journal cards without using glue. And here I have some 4x6" index cards, and I'm actually going to cut them in half, so they'll end up being 3x4 journal cards when we're finished here. Okay, let me go ahead and pull out a piece of scrap paper so that I can protect my cutting surface. My cutting surface has been with me for many, many years, and it's starting to actually crack. I've cracked through it with the knife at least once. So I'm going to work on upgrading to a better cutting or a newer cutting surface here in the future. But it looks like I'm pulling out some glue stick. And no, it's not. It's not a glue stick. And I haven't broken the rules. And I'm not going to break the rules, even though it looks like it big time here. This is actually an empty glue stick that I have converted into a dauber. And this dauber is my brown dauber now. And it's a piece of fun foam that I actually curled up and got it to fit inside of the empty glue stick. And now I'm using it to ink up my stencil. And I was trying to get just the rose area, and it's not really working too great. You're going to see that I'm pulling it off and I'm taking a look at it, and it just wasn't working for me. But I'll let you continue watching and we'll see what happens. So what ended up happening is that the foam in the dauber was starting to come off, and I just didn't like the way this was turning out. So I switched gears and I'm starting another index card. I'm going to get a foundation brush that I got at the dollar store, and you're going to see this works much, much better. So let's take a look and see how this turns out. I'm liking how this one's turning out much better. I'm inking the edges. I know that I had overstamped some areas or had stenciled in areas where I really didn't mean to. So I'm going to try to soften up that look a little bit by diffusing the color or blending the color a little bit on the top. Alright, we're on to our next journal card. I'm taking one of the stamps that I had gotten from AliExpress, and I'm just inking it up. I think it's with Vintage Photo. And I'm just going to stamp up the entire back. I'm going to create a background. And then we're going to add a sticker onto the top of it. And even though it's very simplistic, I didn't use any glue. And it's going to be just a very simple but really nice looking journal card. Here I'm going to pull out my stickers, and this is actually a brand new accordion folder that I guess it's a box where I keep all my ephemera. And I actually got this idea from Furikake-san. She had like a whole video on it, and it took me several times to watch it because it's not in English, just to get the idea of how to make that box. And hopefully I can show my version of it in a future video. Now this sticker is, I believe, from Amazon, and it takes a little bit to get the backing off of it, but I really like these stickers. They were something I had gotten a couple months ago, and before the new year, and I've been using them little by little. I really like the look that they add to the different pieces of ephemera that I create. Okay, for this next card, I pull out a different stencil, and I'm going to be using, I can't remember what the color is. It's some kind of purple though, and it's one of the distress inks. And I'm just going to use the stripe stencil, cover most of the surface, and after that, we'll go ahead and take a look at some gem mesh, which I've been starting to use that more. And in fact, I have it there on the side right now. And I'm going to be adding that. And remember, we're not using glue here, so it's going to take me some determination to get that piece of gem mesh on there. But let's take a look and you'll see what's going to happen. Here comes the star player, which is my stapler. It's a mini stapler. I've had it for many years, probably a couple decades, in fact, and I had a hard time finding replacement staples until I went to Michael's and went through their clearance bins, and I found some, so it was a great find. Here I'm using a watercolor cream, and I'm going to be applying this color with a baby wipe. This added a little bit of shimmer at the bottom of the card. I really liked it. Here I am using a stamped image of love, and I'm going to put some ink around the corners, around the edges, and I'm going to connect it, actually not glue it, but I'm going to sew it onto the card. I'm using a piece of foam to poke holes in both the card and the piece of paper, and this will help me just sew the two together a lot easier. I'm going to speed this up so that you won't have to watch me slow stitch, and what takes me about 3 minutes actually will come out in about 15 seconds. Okay, done. Now, we need to add something else to this. I'm going to look through my stash, and here we go. I found a sticker. It's kind of in the same kind of like flowy cursive, so I like that. And I'm also going to try to take this thread and using a brad, I'm going to poke through using my foam again and put this little, I guess, bow or a little wrapping of thread. And what ends up happening is that I don't like it. You're going to see me toss that, quick in a hot minute, and I'm going to try it again. Here is my last card. I apparently wasn't recording when I was creating this card, but it's simply a definition and a stamp. The definition came from Miss Edie at, I think it's called Scrapbooking with Me, and the stamp came from Hobby Lobby. This concludes week 3 of our Fun February Makes challenge. Next week, we're going to be making an altered paperclip. We're going to be using an index card as a base and a postage stamp. I hope you come back next week so you can take a look at our makes for the altered paperclips. Until then, God bless you, take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.